Namaste. Welcome to today's discourse, dated March 21st, based on the teachings of Shri Brahmachaitanya Maharaj. In our daily lives, we constantly chase after more wealth, more success, more possessions. But no matter how much we acquire, it never seems enough. The world is full of comforts and luxuries, yet true contentment remains elusive. Why? Because greed is endless. The more we feed it, the stronger it grows. Maharaj explains that true happiness does not come from accumulating, but from being content with what we have. Let's reflect on his divine words and understand how to overcome this insatiable desire through devotion and surrender to God. There are two kinds of diseases that harass man. One is utter lack of appetite. No amount of medication produces desire to eat. What use would it be to place a sumptuous meal of choice delicacies before him? He would only plead lack of appetite and decline the offer. In the other disease, the patient's hunger is never satiated, no matter how much he eats. Exactly similar is our condition, only we are afflicted not with one but both these diseases. There is a grand festival of spiritual exercises going on about us, worship, prayers, hymns, but we have neither love nor interest therein. We have no appetite for them. On the other hand, God has endowed us with so many material gifts, wife and children, vocation, property, that contribute to worldly happiness. But our avarice is insatiable. We want yet something more. How far, how long is this to go on? It may be true that we observe the moral and social codes of behavior, but this is only under inhibitions or fear of social reproach or stigma. This cannot be called intrinsic improvement. Such good conduct may be only superficial unless it leads to an improvement in human life as a whole. What we see in the world today is a plethora of amenities, conveniences, and gadgets, which, however, have not added an iota of contentment to human life. All this is really useless unless man's greed is lessened and there is longing for God. Popular religious acts such as pilgrimages, worships, singing of hymns, etc. may only remind us of spiritual life, but may not purify the heart. And without such real betterment, progress towards God is unthinkable. There is no measure to decide how much a man needs to have in this world, whereas one who is determined to feel contented will be happy with whatever he has. Life lived with proper understanding can certainly expedite spiritual realization without necessitating renouncement of worldly life. We may not have love for God today. It will be generated in due course by persisting in devotion to Saguna and Nama-smarana. This repetition of Nama may be insincere or even forced in the beginning, but persistence will create love for it in due course and will lead to yearning for God. It is essential to feel that I am no longer my old self. I now belong to God. Maharaj's words remind us that greed is like an unquenchable fire. It never allows us to be satisfied. The more we accumulate, the more we desire. But true peace and happiness come from contentment and devotion to God. A beautiful example of true contentment can be seen in the life of Paramahansa Yogananda, the great spiritual master and author of Autobiography of a Yogi. One of his closest disciples was James J. Lin, a highly successful businessman and millionaire. Though he had immense wealth, power, and influence, he still felt a deep void within. One day he approached Yogananda and said, "Master, I have everything, money, power, and fame. Yet I feel empty inside. What should I do?" Yogananda smiled and replied, "You have everything, yet you have nothing. Your wealth has bought you comfort, but not peace. If you truly want to be happy, give away a part of your riches and live with simplicity." James was shocked. "Give away my wealth? But I have worked so hard for it. How can I be happy without it?" he asked. Yogananda then took him to a beautiful garden and pointed to the birds flying freely. He said, "Do you see those birds? They own nothing, yet they sing joyfully. They trust God completely. But you, despite having everything, are restless. True happiness is not in possessing, but in letting go." This teaching deeply impacted James. Over time, he donated a large portion of his wealth to Yogananda's spiritual mission and dedicated himself to a life of meditation and service. As a result, he found profound inner peace, something that no amount of money had ever given him. Yogananda later gave him the spiritual name Rajarsi Janakananda, recognizing his deep spiritual transformation. This story teaches us that greed only brings anxiety, but detachment and generosity bring true joy. When we stop clinging to material desires, we open our hearts to God's grace and real contentment. Maharaj's discourse today gives us a powerful message. Greed will never let us rest. Instead of running after endless desires, we should cultivate gratitude, devotion, and contentment. True wealth is not in what we own, but in what we surrender to God. Let us take inspiration from the life of Paramahansa Yogananda and Rajarsi Janakananda and practice detachment and generosity. When we stop chasing temporary pleasures, we will experience permanent peace in the divine presence of God. May we always remember that less greed leads to more joy, and more devotion leads to ultimate bliss. Jai Shri Ram, Jai Shri Brahmachaitanya Maharaj.